Breaking news right now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a detailed meeting with the senior ministers and officials to review India's response to COVID-19 pandemic. The meeting reviewed the national level status and preparation in the context of the pandemic. It also took stock of the situation in different states and union territories, including Delhi. This meeting was attended by Home Minister, the Health Minister, Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister, Cabinet Secretary, Health Secretary, DG ICMR and other related conveyance of the empowered groups. In fact, we have also been told that Dr. Vinod Paul, member of the NITI, convener of the empowered group of the medical emergency, made a detailed presentation on the current status. For more on this, I'm joined by my colleague and our executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor. For the latest, Abhishek, Prime Minister reviewing the current situation. This just a day before Home Minister all set to also chair back-to-back meetings as far as the situation in the national capital is concerned.
Well, Shawan, yes, the Prime Minister has taken one meeting ahead of his interaction with the chief ministers across the country. All the senior ministers, including the Home Minister, Health Minister, and of course his own officials from the Prime Minister's office were present, in which presentations were made by the DG ICMR as also by member NITI Ayog, who's convener of the empowered group on medical emergency, Vinod Paul. And essentially, the Prime Minister was given a presentation on how the COVID crisis is going to pan out over the next 2 months, particularly in large cities and urban concentrations, metros like Mumbai and Delhi. In fact, Prime Minister made some specific interventions on how the crisis is going to pan out in the National Capital Region and gave instructions accordingly. A couple of pointers that come out of this meeting, Shawan, which viewer would be interested in, is the Prime Minister has asked for a scaling up of the testing, which means a decision, it seems, has been taken principally to increase testing, which was the demand coming in from many quarters. And also the Prime Minister wanted certain positive stories from many states and districts that have really done well to be highlighted so that people develop confidence in how the COVID crisis is being tackled. But apart from that, of course, increasing number of hospital beds, number of isolation beds, making sure that as the COVID crisis peaks, which is expected to be somewhere around July, the healthcare infrastructure of the country, particularly the most troubled regions and most troubled metros like Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Ahmedabad, they are fully geared up to tackle the numbers. So I believe the Prime Minister has taken a review, has been briefed, and then, of course, he would be following it up with his engagement that he's going to have on 16th and 17th with the chief ministers. The fact that he's going to engage with 30-plus chief ministers over 2 days essentially underscores the time he really wants to spend with the chief ministers in the feedback session and then strategize for the peak of COVID pandemic that India is staring at in the month of July.